Bonk slowly opened his eyes. His head was pounding. He looked around in confusion. This wasn't his cave. He had no idea how he got here. Then, the memories from the day before started coming back, piece by piece. Like a puzzle, Bonk was not sure he wanted to finish. He had tried to fistfight a woolly mammoth. Not a small one, the big kind, with the long tusks and a very bad attitude. He had found a log at the top of a hill, climbed on top of it, and rode it all the way down at full speed into a tree at the bottom. He had seen his own shadow, not recognized it, and ran from it for an embarrassingly long time. And somehow, at the end of all of that, he had walked directly into a bear cave and gone to sleep like it was his own bed. It was not his own bed. There was a bear in it. Bonk had absolutely no idea what caused him to make those very questionable and very dangerous decisions. He is not sure where this sudden bravery came from. All he knew was this. He didn't end up in that bear cave because he was having a bad day. He ended up there because he ate something that no human had ever intentionally eaten before. And that one decision changed the course of human history forever. Let's rewind to the moment that gave Bonk the caveman the most interesting night of his life. It was a warm afternoon. Bonk was hungry. He spotted a pile of fruit he had stashed near camp weeks earlier. Except it didn't look right anymore. It was soft, bubbling slightly. It smelled like something between ripe and deeply wrong. Any reasonable creature would have walked away. Bonk ate it. And then something happened that Bonk had no category for. The world got softer. The constant noise of survival went quiet. His face broke into a grin he couldn't explain. He didn't know what just happened. But he knew one thing. He wanted more. Here's what actually happened to that fruit. When fruit gets overripe, the natural sugars become food for wild yeast, microscopic organisms floating through the air everywhere around us. They land, consume the sugars, and produce a byproduct. Ethanol, alcohol. Nature had been running this process for hundreds of millions of years without us. And we weren't even the first animals to seek it out. Elephants deliberately eat fermented fruit. Certain birds gorge on fermented berries until they fall off branches. Malaysian tree shrews drink fermented nectar every single night. The animal kingdom discovered alcohol long before we did. We just figured out how to make it on purpose. Now consider this. Alcohol is approximately 13,000 years old. The refrigerator was invented about 100 years ago, which means for 12,900 years, nearly the entire history of alcohol, every single drink was warm. Every celebration, every ceremony, every gathering, warm. All of it. But here's the thought that really sticks. The very first human to wake up with a hangover had absolutely no idea what was happening to them. No word for it, no warning, no concept of cause and effect between last night's fruit and this morning's misery. Just the blinding headache, the churning stomach, the desperate thirst, and zero explanation. Just Bonk, outside a bear cave, accidentally inventing the hangover for the entire human race. For a long time, the story went like this. Humans invented farming. Grain fermented by accident. Someone drank it. Alcohol was discovered. Except the evidence says otherwise. Fermented residue has been found on pottery predating organized agriculture entirely. Which raises a question nobody fully agrees on yet. Did humans settle down and then discover alcohol? Or did the desire to produce it reliably push humans to settle down and farm in the first place? Civilization might not have started with hunger. It might have started with thirst. The oldest confirmed evidence comes from ancient China. 9,000-year-old clay jars containing a deliberately fermented mix of rice, honey, and fruit. Not an accident, a recipe. And then there's Göbekli Tepe in modern Turkey, one of the oldest ceremonial structures ever found, built before widespread farming, containing massive stone vessels used for large-scale brewing. People were constructing enormous monuments and drinking together before agriculture fully existed. Whatever was in those vessels wasn't an afterthought, it was the whole point. So why did Bonk keep going back, despite the headache and the bear cave? Because alcohol turned out to be genuinely useful in ways nobody understood at the time. Medicine first. No doctors, no pharmacies. Alcohol numbed pain from injuries that would otherwise be unbearable. It disinfected wounds before anyone knew what infection was. And as a sedative, it made the difference between a patient who could be helped and one who couldn't be kept still. It was the ancient world's entire medicine cabinet in one clay jug. Then there's water. Standing water in the ancient world was a silent killer. No filtration, no sanitation, bacteria everywhere. Fermented drinks eliminated a significant amount of what made untreated water deadly. Choosing the clay jug over the river wasn't just preference. It was unknowingly the smarter survival choice. Liquid courage comes next, and this one gets overlooked. Early humans faced terrifying situations daily, hunting animals that could kill them, defending against rival groups, venturing into unknown territory. Fear is rational, but fear also freezes you. Alcohol suppresses the fear response just enough to make action possible. Bonk should not have challenged a woolly mammoth. But somewhere in human history, a version of that lowered inhibition produced a hunt that actually succeeded. And socially, alcohol made strangers less threatening, cooperation more natural, and large groups of unrelated humans feel like they were on the same side. In a world where cooperation was survival, that was everything. It became the center of every ritual: births, deaths, harvests, alliances, victories, losses. Shared drink became shared identity. Of course, the same qualities that made it useful made it dangerous. Bad decisions, unnecessary risks, and nobody warned Bonk about dependency. No concept of moderation, no framework for addiction. If it felt good, you drank it. The struggle with alcohol, where the useful thing becomes the destructive thing, is almost as old as the discovery itself. Every culture on Earth, completely independently, developed their own version. Chicha in South America, mead across Europe, fermented mare's milk in Central Asia, rice wine throughout East Asia. Humans didn't discover alcohol once. We discovered it everywhere, every time, because it genuinely served us as medicine, as safety, as courage, as community. Bonk had no idea he stumbled onto something that would echo through every civilization that came after him. He just knew the fruit was worth finding again. And he was right. Some of the most important discoveries in history weren't made by geniuses with a plan. They were made by someone hungry and reckless enough to eat the weird fruit. If this one got you, subscribe, hit the like button, and come explore the rest of human history with us. Bonk has a lot more story left, and it only gets stranger from here.